So today, this morning, I was doing my cardio like I do every single morning, and I was watching a video. Just like pretty much most of you guys do every single morning when you're doing your cardio, or whenever you do your cardio, you turn on YouTube, you watch what's going on YouTube. And today it was Mike O'Hearn, aka Mike O'Tren, or Baby Don't Hurt Me. As many of you guys have probably saw those famous memes from a few years ago. Was it even that long ago? Who knows? Anyway, Mike O'Hearn, whether you like him or you don't, he is the supervillain, let's just say, of bodybuilding. Yes, he's a troll. Yes, I know he is not natural. But he plays the perfect heel. And it was so fitting because when you talk about heels, you talk about wrestling, if you know what that is. And he was training with a guy that I grew up watching, and that was the badass Billy Gunn from D-Generation X. Now, if you're my age, you'll understand the reference. If you don't, he is a wrestler who is almost 60 years old. In fact, I'm going to actually Google to see exactly how old Billy Gunn is. Now, Billy Gunn was an old school wrestler from back in the early 2000s, late 90s, so a long time ago. So let me just type in Billy Gunn. Let me see how old this is. Anyway, him and Mike O'Hearn were doing a training session, which wow, he's actually 60 years old, guys. 60. Amazing. So this video was like a year ago. So he was like 59 years old. Anyway, point is, phenomenal shape, great guy, powerlifter, really good, charismatic guy. Never got the big push to, heavyweight to be the world champion, but was always a very good, I wouldn't even say number 2. He was a little bit lower level, mid-tier guy, but always with the best faction, which was DX. So, a little bit of history about wrestling over there. Now, bring me to this video of him and training with Mike O'Hearn. Now, Mike O'Hearn, also very similar age. I'll Google as well, check out how old Mike O'Hearn is. And they were training. Now, these guys are both 60 or near 60, especially in this video. And let me just Google the Mike O'Hearn age. How old is Mike O'Hearn? He was born in 1969. It says 55 years old, so nearing on 60 anyway, okay? Again, powerlifter, great physique. In my opinion, one of the best physiques ever. Okay, like you look at anyone as far as how you want to look on a day-to-day basis, I think that is the pinnacle. I think every guy would probably say, yeah. In fact, me personally, if you actually ask my real honest opinion, I would be like, I wouldn't want to be that big. It's a lot of muscle. He's carrying a lot of muscle. He's a big dude. He's a very strong dude. And he's a very healthy dude. If you look at his skin, his hair, just the way he carries himself, which tells us what? He is not Mike O'Tren. He does not take Trenbolone. He probably takes very similar thing to what I do. And probably the same dosage as well, because he's a guy who's been in the industry for a very long time. From bodybuilding, fitness modeling to powerlifting, has always been in tip-top, pristine shape. Billy Gunn the same. Traveled the world, top off, shorts on, for wrestling 3-4 nights of the year. Probably less now, but more back in the days. I don't know if he's retired, but in this video, he wasn't retired. It was only like a 2-year-old or a year ago this video was shot. Gold's Gym, the training chest. Now, the reason why I wanted to mention they were training chests in Gold's Gym is because, wanted to mention in this video is because you'd think guys at this age would tone it down. You'd think guys are nearing 60, they're, almost 20 years older than me. They're thinking, let's figure out what the best training plan is for us to follow. And guess what they were doing? Exactly the same training plan that I follow. And it's the same training plan that every single person who started in the late 90s, early 2000s, when they started lifting, it was very simple, basic stuff. I did not see them for the whole session go near any machine. Okay? They did incline bench. Billy did flat bench, bench press, barbell. Heavy, low reps, same technique, explosive. Lower pec benching, not high pec benching, okay? Both of them. Then they went over to the dumbbells. Mike did the flat dumbbells. Billy did the incline dumbbells. That's it. Then they did 2 sets of like a high incline fly where the pad comes off and, it's not a full bench, it's like a half bench. So the top part of your back is off the bench and you're doing a big extreme kind of a fly motion. So very basic. Now, think about this, and I have been to this gym as well. Gold's Gym, Venice. Arnold Schwarzenegger, pumping iron, bodybuilding, mecca. Gold's Gym. When I went to Gold's Gym many years ago, there was about 4 rooms in Gold's Gym. Different rooms, different machines, different cable attachments, different stuff. Times have moved on. It's expanded, it's got bigger. There's more machines now than there ever was in any gym. I remember back in the days, a pec deck reverse fly machine was very hard to come by. Cables were very hard to come by, but they were still a staple. But definitely the pec deck reverse fly machine. Never used it for my pecs, ever. Now, recent years, I got a bit lazy, started using it for my rear delts. Only because it's easy to set up. But even still, I try not to use it. I don't have one in my house. The point is, if there was a more effective chest workout, those guys would be doing it. If there was a safer workout for longevity, those guys would be doing it. There was a more effective muscle building, fat loss, longevity workout, they would be doing it. These guys have been training for longer than I've been alive, and many of you guys watching. Collectively, probably almost 100 years of training knowledge under their belt. Access to the best coaches in the world. The best dietitians in the world. And I know what the diets are as well, very similar to what I do. I see what Michael Hearn eats, I know what Billy Gunn does. Keep it simple. And I know you could argue, well, what about the steroid cycles? Guys, we all know everybody who takes steroids. Ronnie Coleman is very similar age to these guys. In fact, Billy Gunn's probably older than Ronnie Coleman. Steroid cycle. They all take them. Some guys look good, some guys don't. I was at the Body Power, Arnold Classic, Expo, just the other day, 2 days ago. Seen Kevin Levrone, seen Jay Cutler, seen Ronnie Coleman. Very similar age. In fact, Jay's a little bit younger than those guys. Who looked the best at almost 60 years old? Kevin Levrone. Why? Powerlifting style of workouts. Basics work. They keep you fresh. If they didn't work, Michael Hearn or Billy Gunn, 60 years old, would now be like, you know what, guys? We need to tone it down a little bit. We need to now not do this, because if we do the flat bench, we might get injured. You know why guys, the young guys especially, getting injured? Because they're not doing it enough. They're messing around with machines in the gym and, you know, well, let's use this new pre-core machine. Let's use this new Prime Fitness because the plate loaded at the lengthened and strengthened and the shortened position of the weight bearing to the clavicular region is now going to... Shut up, guys. Learn from the experts. Learn from people before you. Okay? The new age guys right now who are using these machines, where are they going to be in 20, 30 years? Injured. Do you know why and how I know that? Because they're already getting injured. The muscle isn't looking good. It's not looking fresh. It's not looking nice. It's not looking normal. You look at Billy Gunn, you look at Michael Hearn, amazing, pristine condition all year round. They're not even bodybuilders. They're not even trying to gain muscle. They're not even trying to get stronger. But they're doing those kind of workouts. Now, I know how Michael Hearn trains, and I didn't know much about Billy Gunn, but I definitely know now. But I know how Michael Hearn trains, and he does a very, very similar thing. Now, I'm not saying I'm the pioneer of it. I've copied those guys. Those guys came before me. I copied those. I learned from them. I've been to this gym, Venice. I trained with 2 IFBB pro bodybuilders. Not going to mention who they were. Paid for them to train me. Guess what the first exercise we did with one of them was? Incline barbell bench press. Guess what I do till this day? Incline barbell bench press. Every time I do chest, I do incline barbell bench press. Clients say to me, oh, should I change my workout? Why? If it works. At what point do you think an incline barbell bench press stops working? Explain to me, please. Can someone out there on the internet explain to me, at what level do you reach where an incline barbell bench press is not effective enough? Michael Hearn is almost 60 years old. He's still doing it. Some of the top pro bodybuilders in the world are still doing it. No, none of you guys, after an 8-week cycle of this training routine, should be like, should I switch out incline barbell bench press because I've been doing it for 8 weeks? Who gives a shit? do it for 8 years, do it for 18 years, do it for 28 years. And still, it's still effective. It's the best exercise for the upper pec. Why do anything else? Why go to a machine when you know we don't have the data on how that machine is going to help us later on in life? Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Basics always work. You know, and if you want to watch that video, just type in Michael Hearn, Billy Gunn. I'm pretty sure you're going to find it. It was a great find for me, and it just gave me a little bit more motivation. And sometimes, you know, like when you're doing things and people, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know this, you don't know that. And it's nice to get validated from once in a while. You know, it's nice to get a bit of validation, and, you know, from Michael Hearn as well, none of the Michael Hearn. So hopefully that gave you some value. Comment down below, like, and please subscribe.